Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Anna. I think it's about the time to do some art journaling. So I will be working with this Artisa book, which is containing 88 pages watercolor paper, and it's £110, which is a quite thick paper. Now if you feel you wanting to glue the pages together, then by all means you've got that option. For me, I think just one page is just good enough to get and work through. Now I will be working with the amazing product from Maremi Small Art, my dear friend Marta Lapkowska, and I'm showing you a few elements what I've cut out from Antiquario book. This is an Antiquario collection, one of the previous one what Marta launched. It's still available in her shop if you want to do some shopping. So without any further ado, let's start building the composition. Now, the first thing what I'm going to do, I'm going to protect my center of the book by sticking some washi tape. I've got this washi tape from the washi shop. If you have any other washi you would like to use, then by all means, feel free to do that. Washi will protect your pages from seeping through to other pages, to damage them, to prevent any colors to actually be leaking through. So this is something what it's highly recommended to start in your art journaling. So without any further ado, like I said, once I will seal and protect my center, I will start building the composition. So when I will be playing with the elements, there's nothing to talk about. There's nothing what you have to really pay attention to really. You just have to try out, put the elements. If it's appealing to your eye, just stick it down. If it's not really appealing to your eye, then move it around, move to another element, and this way you will learn to build a composition. So I'm gonna leave you with the music when I will be playing with the elements, and then I will come back to you for the next step what we will be working on. So I'll talk to you in a minute. here it is. As you can see, I took my time to build my composition, moving elements and trying them round. And this is something what you can also do. You don't have to rush through. You can take your time to build a composition what you're satisfied with. Now, the next step what I'm going to do, I'm going to add clear gesso. The reason I'm adding clear gesso because at this point I haven't decided yet which mediums I'm going to apply to add extra color to my pages. So therefore, I'm preparing my pages for the mediums to flow rather than sinking into paper. However, when you're working with watercolors, then if you're using watercolor-based mediums, they nicely will float, if you will, spray a bit of the water to help them out. Now, if you will be working with acrylics, that's a bit tricky, and your paper will probably more likely absorb the color rather than you will be able to actually move it around. So this is something what you have to pay attention to, and before you choose the mediums what you will be applying to, it's always good to cover the pages with gesso. You can use clear gesso, you can use white gesso. The choice is absolutely yours. So I'm working with the Crafter Workshop gesso. It's a really good quality gesso what I would recommend you to also have. If you have any other brands what you're happy with to work with, then by all means reach for the one what you have on your stash. Now, before moving on to the next step, what you have to concentrate on and remember to do, always dry the gesso. So because when the gesso is still wet, then it will be difficult for you to actually apply the further mediums on top of it. So it's important to dry layers between. My next step, I will add texture to my project. And I will be working with this beautiful little brick stencil from Crafter Workshop. This stencil is designed by amazing Jamie. And of course, I'm reaching for my favorite product overall, light and fluffy modeling paste. I absolutely love this paste. It's like a marshmallow paste, and it also, the benefits of it, it dries very quickly. So I'm gonna just apply the texture. As you can see, the way how I'm applying the texture to my project, I'm not transferring the full bricks image to my project. I'm just smushing the paste in places so the texture what I'm creating is uneven in some areas and it's more visible in some other areas. So you don't have to be so super precise with that. You just create an extra interest to your project. So I'm gonna just play around with my bricks stencil, and then I will just take it to the next step. And at that point, I will be looking through my stash what mediums I will choose to add color to my art journal. So for time being, I'm going to leave you with the music, and I'll come back to you in a moment. So remember to dry your paste. However, at that point, I haven't used my heat gun to dry my paste because it dries literally in like 10-15 minutes. And by that time, I've decided which mediums I've decided to use for my art journal to add a color to my pages. The paste was already dry. So I will be playing with the Distress Oxide today and Distress Inks. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to apply a bit of a pigment to my glass mat, and then with a water brush I'm going to pick up the pigment and apply to my pages. The way how I will be moving my pigment, I will be spraying a little bit of the water so the pigment will not actually sip in one place, it will allow to nicely float. And I will be playing with the colors from the lightest to the darkest. And please remember to clean your brush when you will be switching to the colors. Now, if you're working with the family colors, like for example, for time being, as you can see, I'm playing with the beige colors, you don't have to really do that. But when you're switching from beige colors, brownish colors, to the blue ones, grayish ones, what I've got next, what I will be playing with, I have to have a clean brush so my color will not get mixed and will not create a mud. So I'm gonna just play with the colors. As you can see, I'm helping out with the water and then applying the pigment with my water brush. So it's nicely moving, it's nicely floating. So I'm gonna just carry on doing that, and when I'm happy with the effect of coloring, I'm gonna dry my pages and I will come back to you when I will be taking my journal to the next step. As you may notice, the colouring part, it takes a bit of time, but you don't have to rush this process through. You can take your time and apply the colours, adding layers and layers until you're happy with the final effect. And before you will be moving on to the next step, the most important thing, you have to dry your pages, because when you will apply other mediums on top, then it probably will mix it together, will be just activated with the water. So it's very important to do that. So I'm just going to clean my desk, and then I will move on to add more interest to my pages. And to add more interest to my pages, I'm reaching for the Posca pen. I've got this very little tip, which is 1mm. So I'm just going to highlight in a few places. I'm going to add a few dots to my flowers, just to, highlight a few areas like so. And I'm not very precise at that point. I'm kind of trying to be quite sketchy. So on even lines, it's even better. So like I said, you don't have to be so precise with that. And I'm also highlighting some areas where my texture is for the bricks. You can play with the Posca in the areas wherever you feel, wherever you want to highlight is entirely up to you. I went to highlight a bit of a door frame. I went to highlight a bit of flowers, and also the bricks and the door, like I said. So I hope you enjoyed the process so far, and I hope you find it inspiration, and also I hope it's encouraging you to take out your mediums, to take out your papers and start your art journal, and start this new adventure if you haven't done any art journaling yet. So I hope you benefit from this tutorial, and I hope you're taking some inspiration, some tips away, so you can create something and start your fun and enjoying process with art journal. I absolutely love and adore art journaling. So you don't have to really think about the final project, how it will look. You're just enjoying the process of playing with mediums and playing with the colors. Next step, what I'm going to do, I'm going to reach for this Inktense pencil, which is a Dervent Back 2000, and I'm just going to highlight in a few places, and then I will activate my pencil with water brush. So I will achieve a beautiful highlight on my bricks, so it will highlight my texture very nicely. So I'm going to just play with that, and then I will meet you in a second when we will be working on my journal further. We have to add the titles, some sentiments to our spread. I always try to match the sentiments to the pages what I'm creating. So because I've got outdoors, I went for these stickers, Be There, also from Maremi Small Art, and this is the message for you all, my lovely friends. So the first one I picked is Are You There? So I hope you are doing okay. I hope you are finding time to escape and maybe art journaling. Maybe you are a card maker. Maybe you are other mixed media lover. So I'm hoping you're having a good time and you always have a time to just escape and spend a bit of a time in your craft corner if you're in your craft room. The second message is sit and listen to the world. It's important to communicate with the crafty community. It's important to have a crafty friend where you can always reach out to, so you're not on your own. This is most important. So the third message what I'm sticking on to my journal is don't worry, I'm here. So if for any reason anyone would like to have a chat with me, then do not hesitate to drop me a message. I will be more than happy to have a chat with you for any subject, whatever you feel you would like to talk to me about. The next one, what I will be reaching to my journal, to my stickers, it's you should. Never hesitate. Crafty community is a big family, so if you have any worries, if you just want to have a bit of a chat regarding any mediums, or if you just want to simply make a friend, then this is something where you should reach out to a crafty community. And the last one what I stick to my journal is smiling again. So after that lovely chat what you probably will make with a crafty friend, or when you will have a nice creative time in your craft room, in your craft corner, then the smile will pop up to your face. So I'm really hoping this is a good message for you all, and you will be encouraged to do something to reach out to your crafty friend and have a nice creative chat and creative time. So going back to my journal, to finish off my pages, I'm gonna just dilute acrylic paint with a bit of a water and add a bit of a splatters. Of course, we have to do a splatters. I think this is just a final touch to finish off any project. So to make the splatters very fine, very little, you need to have a very fine little brush. Now I've got this brush which is quite a few years old, and I also snipped some bristles as well, just to make it more uneven, to make it more thinner. Now some crafters, what I've noticed, they're using this fan brush, so they also create a nice splatter. So this is a tip for you. So let me bring the journal for you closer so you can see all the texture, you can see all the layers, all the colors what I've added. And I hope you like the process. I hope you like my chit chats. And this is it, my beautiful friends. Don't hesitate to reach out to your friends. Don't hesitate to grow your crafty community. This is very important. So that's everything, my lovely friends. Till the next time. Hugs and kisses to y'all. Bye for now.